Welcome to TrinoCode. In this tutorial, we will learn how to integrate Bubble.io with Node.js using MongoDB as our database. I have built an API for registering a user on MongoDB through Bubble.io and hosted my Node.js server on render.com. In the first phase, we will register a user with fields such as name, email, password, gender, age, and photo. After we call this API, the data will be stored in the MongoDB database through Node.js. I will now copy this API URL from Postman and paste it into Bubble.io. In Bubble.io, we have already installed the API connector plugin, and we will set up a new API call here. In this API call, we will first add the URL and set it as a post request. We will name the API call as register and won't need any headers for this call. We just need to use this API as an action. And then we will add the following body data by directly copying it from Postman into Bubble.io. We can then initialize it to see if it's working. We will have to change the email address as a user already exists with this email. Let's change it to rajesh1@gmail.com. Now, let's initialize it once again. And as you can see, it's working, and the data should be created in the MongoDB database. We can also see the complete JSON data, including the success message, the registered successfully message, and all other details. You will also receive a token from the API that you can use for authentication and to fetch more data. Now in MongoDB, once we refresh the database, you will see that the rajesh1@gmail.com account is going to be created again. As you can see, this data has been created in the MongoDB database. So it's working fine as we have successfully tested our first API call in Node.js. Now we will make it dynamic so we can send the data through forms here. As you can see, we have already designed the UI for this form. We will add an action by clicking the send button, then editing the workflow, and then calling this API here. Currently, the data is in a raw format, but we can make it dynamic as this format is not optimal. We will go back to the plugin section and make the data dynamic. Here, we will delete the static values and replace them with dynamic inputs for the name, email, password, and so on. As for the photo, we will keep it static for now. We will also remove the privacy checks from these fields. Next, we will add a sample user, Akash for the name, akash@trinocode.com for the email, admin for both password fields, male for the gender, and 22 for the age. Then we will reinitialize this. As you can see, the API call was successful, and we can see the data in Bubble.io. Now we will check it in MongoDB again. As you can see, the data is here, so the user was successfully created using the dynamic content. We will go back to Bubble.io and check it in the live version. Then, we will again go to the workflow and edit the workflow. This time, we will make the content dynamic from the action itself. We will map the name input to the name field, the email input to the email field, and so on for the other fields. Now we will test it with the name Abhishek and email abhishek@trinocode.com. We will test it again by clicking the send button. As you can see, it's working. Let's refresh the database and see if the data got stored. As you can see, the user Abhishek was registered successfully. With this, we have completed our first Node.js API integration with Bubble.io. Finally, thank you guys for watching this video.